Imagine never having to change your patches on the Nord Electro 6, or really any Nord, because the concept that we will learn today will apply to any Nord or MIDI keyboard, but the numbers will just look a little bit different. Let's dive in. What's up everybody, my name is Michael Root with Ableton Keys, and I'm going to show you how to have Ableton Live control your patch changes on the Nord Electro 6D. First, let's talk about the connection type. If you've seen any of my videos, you probably already guessed I'm using a Mio XC, but this can work with any kind of MIDI connection that you have. In my live setup, I run RTP MIDI into a Mio XM and from there into a USB port on the Nord, but any kind of MIDI connection that you are running will work in this scenario. If you're confused about any of that, be sure to check out We'll Dog It at From Studio to Stage. Let's dive right into the Nord. So there will be some important settings that we need to set up first. So I'm going to press Shift and I'm going to press Program 1, which is System. And I already have it loaded here, but you can use this button to toggle over. And we will look for MIDI Global Channel. And this global, not the external, this global is what we're focusing on here. So you can set it up to 16 channels. You can turn it off. We are going to leave it at channel 1 for the sake of this example. Let's jump you into Ableton next. So I have this Nord Electro 6D program change template pulled up. This is Will Doggett's From Studio to Stage template. So if you want to grab this template, go subscribe to his website, fromstudiotostage.com. And he's got this template plus a bunch of other templates included for free, which is awesome. So I will not be giving this away because this is not mine, but we will be working out of this today for this example. So let's go to our preferences, Command, comma, and because I'm using the Mio XC, I'm going to go to the output port and I'm going to enable track right here. So I'll just press that and that is enabled. Whatever MIDI interface you're using should pop up under the out port. It should also pop up under the input port, but we are just working output. And the reason that we enable track is because we are sending MIDI from Ableton's tracks into our interface, which then goes to our Nord. So let's start from the very beginning. So I'm going to press Tab to get us over to arrangement view. We'll go down to the very bottom and I'm just going to create a new MIDI track. So Shift Command T to do that. And all these we haven't done that yet. So let's actually grab all of these, and we don't want any MIDI coming into these. So we're going to choose no input. We don't want anything going into these tracks. I don't see that it could be a problem, but just for best practices, let's set that to no input. And then on our output, we're going to choose our interface, which is the Mio XC here. Let's go into the very beginning and let's set our grid to 1 bar just to make this easy. I'm going to select the amount of space and press Shift Command M to create a MIDI clip. If this menu doesn't pop up right here, just double click on your clip and this will pop up. And here we have bank, sub, and program. If you've seen my last video, you already know what this is. Bank is MSB, most significant bit. Sub is LSB, least significant bit. And then program is program change, which is super simple. So you'll hear those terms interchangeably, bank, sub, program, or MSB, LSB. So don't get confused there, all the same thing that people are talking about. So let's jump over to Safari. I have the Nord Electro 6 manual pulled up, and they don't give us too much, unfortunately. Most manuals have the exact programs and sounds and all the MSB, LSB, and program change numbers that you need. But they basically give us a formula with all this information, and from there we can use that. Now, one thing you have to watch out for, again, if you've seen the video I did on the Roland Phantomo, you already know this. Their program changes are 0 to 127, but then in Ableton, we have 1 to 128. So there's no 0, so there's 1, and then we go all the way up to 128. So these numbers will be off by 1, which is no big deal at all. We just have to compensate for that when we do our formulas. So from the start, if we scroll all the way over to Bank A, and we have patch 1.1 pulled up, back in Ableton, bank is going to be 1 to select all of your program changes on the banks. The live programs will be different. Those will be bank 7. So, but for everything else, we do not have to worry about that. So we'll set that to 1. And then we're going to start at 1, and we'll start at 1. And let's scroll over to a different patch. So I will back us up to the very beginning, and I will press play. And then after I press play, I'll jump you to the Nord, and you will see us change to patch A11. Here we go. And that's how simple it is. So you can take this all the way up to 128. So if we jump into here, we go to 128, and then I'll press play, and we'll jump to H44. So what would the next bank be? That would be I. And so that's when we need to go in here, we'll change this sub to number 2, and then we'll change that to 1, and we should get the same patch if I press play again. Boom, there we go. So this is the formula that you will use all the way to bank Z. You will not change the bank number or the MSB in here until you go to a live patch. I wish that Nord did give us an entire sound list with all the patches, but if you use that formula, it is super easy, and I'm sure that you'll get the hang of it. So what if we need to use one of the live patches? Well, we'll go into here and we will change this bank, which is MSB, to number 7. And same thing, they start at LSB 1, program 1. So this should bring us to our first live patch. If I press play, we are at live A1. And the live patches, you only have one bank A and one bank B. So you have a total of 8 live patches. So we are on A1 right now. So if we want to jump to the last live patch, which would be our 8th patch, and it would be B4, we'll jump into Ableton and we will just change this number to 8. Let's press play. And there we go. So we have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I hope that makes sense. So just for some fun, we can go back into this template, and all of these are programmed in session view, so we don't have any mix up. I'll delete that, and I turned off all of these so that they wouldn't interfere, but now we want them back on, so now we have them all on. So let's just jump around in this template a little bit. Let's jump to G24. Got G24, let's go to Z24. Z24. So one thing to look out for that I realized doing some testing just now is if you jump from one of the programs to a live program, it'll jump from program to live A1, but it may not get you, if say you jump from a program B13 and then you want to go to a live program B2, it'll jump you into the live setting, but it won't jump you to B2, it'll jump you to A1. So when you're programming these, you want to keep that in mind, how you have your patches programmed in the Nord. Definitely keep that in mind. For me, that's not an issue. Whenever I use the live patches, it's because I'm kind of jamming with the band and we're most likely not using Ableton, and I'm definitely not using Ableton to control my patch changes. For these scenarios, I'm playing with the band that's writing tracks and we have a full show laid out, and so I don't want to use those live patches because whenever you make an adjustment on the live patch, it automatically saves. So I never have a default to go back to. So just keep that in mind however you program your patches in the Nord. You're going to have a little bit of issue if you're jumping between live patches and programmed patches. I hope this is super helpful. It definitely has helped me. Now I do not have to worry about changing my patches in the Nord. I don't have to worry about changing my patches in my Roland. Ableton does everything for you. I don't have a template for you this week. If you want this template, again, from studio to stage, but next week I'm going to show you how to build your own template, which is a great skill to have. If you haven't seen my video on how to use the Roland O template, definitely check that out because it goes over why using a template and program from a template is super easy, and it's a lot less confusing than having to memorize the MSB, LSB, and program change numbers for the patches that you need. You know that they're already programmed. You can drag them into a new song or a new set, however you program. So be sure to look out for next Friday for that video coming out. As always, subscribe Ableton Keys on YouTube and Instagram, and I'll see y'all next week.